Hey, we're live. Welcome. It's Friday afternoon, lunchtime. This is Willie Tenorio Jr., School Board Trustee with CISD, and I have another live video for you. So recently I got stopped at the grocery store by a newsletter subscriber. And so you may know on my website, willieforeducation.com, WILLIE, the number 4 education.com, I have a subscription link to my newsletter for my constituents and anybody else who wants to get information about CISD and what the school board's doing. So I was stopped and they asked me a question. They said, what's the difference between an action item and an informational item on a school board agenda? And so I explained that, and I wanted to share that answer with y'all. So you probably noticed that if you've ever looked at the school board agendas, there's a section labeled action and a section labeled informational items. So what's the difference? And I think what was confusing the person was that the language that they used action items and informational items on agendas where they work, but they use the terms slightly different than we do on the school board. So let me define what those terms mean. An action item is an item where the school board is expected to vote. So it's labeled as an action item on the agenda. There's a section called action items because we're going to vote. So for example, you can see new course offerings will be an action item. In order to call an election will be an action item. By the way, if you want to see the information we're going to vote on in the next meeting, check CISD.net/election2019, and you can see the election order that we're going to vote on adopting for the May 2019 election for school board trustees. Excuse me. Now, other things that you can see on an action item section of a school board agenda include purchases. So we have property. We can purchase property, and that would be an action item. Purchasing buses will be an action item. Budgets is an action item. An employee leave policy would be an action item. Employment contracts are an action item. Then there's an informational section of our agenda also, and that is just purely agenda items where we're, as a school board, are getting information and discussing it, but we're not actually going to have a vote. So, for example, at the last board meeting, we had an informational item, and it was GPA and class rank, study team update, and recommendations. So we had an update from the group that looked at some changes that we were going to think about making to GPA and class rank policies. And so I think that's what may have confused the person who asked me the question, because they saw that and they said, well, that should be an action item, right? Because if you have recommendations, then you're going to go take some type of action. But in this case, we had it in the informational section because we didn't plan on taking a vote. We just wanted to get the information, kind of digest it, and then provide the administration some guidance on next steps before we eventually will take action in a future board meeting. So that was an informational item. Right now we have a standing item under informational items called Report on Bond Construction Projects, where we get a report on all the building projects we have. So we have an elementary school that's in process of being built. We have a high school that's in the process of being built, and other projects, and we get information about them and updates. We don't take any votes on that. We just get information so that it can be shared with us and the public. Something that you've been seeing on our agendas a lot of lately, and which is great, is our progress toward our academic goals. We've always had that, but we've had a little bit more lately. We've had a lot of student achievement data on some of our agendas too, so we've looked at student achievement data, and overall the whole district and school by school, we looked at that, and that's really a sign of a good school board, a school board that looks at student achievement data, because we're all responsible for that ultimately. and we need to be monitoring that. So that's been an informational item on the school board agenda. So I hope you find this helpful. People have been asking me, by the way, why do I do this? Why do I have a constituent letter at willieforeducation.com, WILLIE, the number 4education.com? Why do I take time to do that, to write one and send that out? Why do I do these videos? So let me tell you why. I think as an elected official, one of your primary duties is to communicate to the public about what's going on. And so these videos and my newsletter allow me to do that. Also, they're helpful to people, and they increase the participation in our democracy by providing more information to y'all and kind of letting you know how the school board operates so that you know where to get your agendas, how to read them, and participate in your democracy. So that's the reason I'm doing that. Hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll be making more. Just give me any feedback that you have. A lot of times, I'll see y'all at the grocery store, church, or anywhere else, and just stop me and let me know what's on your mind, and as you always have, and I'll get you the answers. And if I get quite a few of the same questions, well, then I'll make a video to get that information out to y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.